What's up, warriors? Welcome to Vlogmas number 19. Woohoo! So I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. With everybody uploading daily, I can't imagine having like 50 different people to watch every day. It's tough. So I think it's really cool that you actually took the time to click on my videos. So I figured today what I have for you guys is a little voiceover to the leg workout that I did today. So I started off with squats. As you will see in the video, I don't do any like crazy complicated extensive warm-ups. I usually just work my way up from the bar. So I'll do one set of like 10 with just the bar. Eventually I'll put a 10 on each side, working my way up to 25, 35, and eventually 45. And by the time I get to the 45-minute mark, I usually have an idea of what's going on with my strength. I was originally planning to do a heavy leg day today because yesterday I did have a lot of carbs. We did some Indian takeout, had lots of cookies. If you had seen my last video, I kind of mentioned that. But luckily I am on a auto-regulated program, which means I just listen to my body in order to prevent injuries. And so on days where I feel particularly strong, I go heavy. On days that I don't, I kind of hold back. So once I realized that I was not that strong, I went back down to just the half plate on each side and just did high reps. So after the squats, I moved on to barbell hip thrusts. I started with one plate for about 20 reps, then moved on to 1.5 plates, and then eventually 2. You'll notice that I also added some little pulse reps at the very end, just for that extra squeeze. And also keep in mind when you're doing this exercise to really make sure that when you get to the top, to squeeze for that extra second. You really do want to try to activate the fibers as much as possible for maximum booty growth. Then I moved on to the seated leg press. I started with a drop set, so I kind of moved down 3 to 4 poundages, and then eventually I just did 2 heavier sets for 10. I usually try to stay away from quad dominant exercises. I'm not really interested in making my quads any bigger than they already are. I am short, and so I definitely don't want to look stumpy. But I find that with this particular machine, I really make sure that my shoulder blades are against the seat, my chest is up, and I'm forcing my butt not to lift in the seat while I complete the exercise. And by doing this, I really feel a lot more in my glutes and my hamstrings. Then I did 3 sets of abductors. I don't usually do these very often, but when I do, I like to stick to a lower weight with higher reps. Like really high reps, like I do 30 to 40, just to feel the lactic acid buildup in my butt. I find when I go too heavy with these, like I always stop just because I start cramping up more so than like getting tired from like a lack of strength. And finally, I did 3 sets of lying hamstring curls. I like using these as a finisher for my hamstrings. I often do high reps, but because I didn't hit my hamstrings too heavy, I stuck to like an 8 to 10 hypertrophy range this time around. And at this point, I got pretty burnt out. And so following that, I just did some cardio. I did some HIIT on the spin bike, followed by just a 10-minute cool down on the elliptical trainer. And that was my workout today. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out. Follow me on all of my social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's Vlogmas.